Can we get you to sparkle organically like Miss Markle on her wedding day? Today, I want to talk you through some really, really key steps to consider when you are going to go about starting to predetermine and work out what your makeup plan should be for your wedding, based around and well excited about the royal wedding, or a special occasion. Doesn't have to be just a wedding. So please give this a thumbs up and share, and particularly send to any friends who are about to get married or about to start thinking about wedding makeup, because they're going to need this. Now, my background is teaching beauty therapy, and one of my favourite things to teach was makeup. And obviously a huge part of that is bridal makeup. I then obviously worked in salons and spas, putting on people's makeup as well. And sadly, really now, I don't really do that much makeup because I'm so immersed in skincare land that it doesn't really happen. Plus in Pink's Boutique, we don't have a makeup range. So it's a really lovely treat for me to get to speak about makeup. Now, what I want to do with this is there is going to be tons of stuff going on about Miss Markle's makeup, predictions of what she's going to wear, how to copy the look. What I want to do is do something more useful, more practical for you, and something that you can actually execute and use in either your own life or help a friend with, which is what are the key steps to working out what wedding makeup needs to do. Now, if you're going to get a professional involved and you're going to have someone professionally do your makeup, my hope is that they would be able to do these bits for you. But forewarned is forearmed. Why would you not go absolutely ready and prepared? Because you don't know. Some therapists, some makeup artists are better than others, and this will put you well ahead of the game to have thought about these things. I'm even going to pop a little PDF for you so you can print it off and you can go through and consider. So number one on my list is going to be that you need to start a little while out from your wedding or your special occasion, planning what this is going to be like and starting to do trials. Now, the big thing to do with trials, whether you're doing your own makeup or whether someone else is doing it for you, is to take lots of pictures. And ideally, you need to take the pictures on the camera and the cameras that are going to be used on the wedding day. And I nowadays would make sure that you take a picture on a proper like SLR, like the photographer is going to be using, but also on iPhones, because you need to see, let's face it, most women plan their wedding around making sure that they get that beautiful wedding album. Is it going to look like you want it to? Because you may well look in the mirror and go, oh, that's amazing. But if it doesn't represent on camera, you're going to be really, really, really disappointed. So take lots of pictures, lots of phones. Don't feel stupid, just go for it. And do as many kind of photo calls as you can. Now, if you are pre-planning, the other thing I need you to think about is, are you going anywhere before the wedding that is going to change your colour tone? So if you're going on holiday, if you're having a hen do in a foreign country, then you need to make sure that you trial the makeup again after that, because your skin tone and colour might have changed, and then your foundation colour's changed, and the whole thing is going to screw up if you don't deal with it. Same goes if you're going to have a fake tan. You need to have the fake tan you are going to have and then get your makeup to trial to work with that. So just think about the colour you are going to be, or the colour you may well change to be. A few practical steps then next. Is the wedding going to be indoor, outdoor, or both? If it is both, then the outdoor bit has to win, because natural real light is brutal. And you need to make sure you need to make sure that the makeup works for that, which will tend to be that it will need to be slightly more subtle, bit more natural, not caked on, because in natural light you will see that and it will look bad on photos, but also it will look bad to the guest standing next to you. So indoor, outdoor, lighting is a huge play in this. So also, what's the lighting going to be like that you're under, and what's going to happen when the cameras come into play? So as a general rule, you will look slightly shiny, pearlized as soon as light starts flashing at you. So you need to test that as well. And it would be why you wouldn't really advise you nor Megan to have really, really like pearlized, shiny makeup, because often against cameras that doesn't look great. So more natural makeup, I would very much imagine that that is what's going to happen at the royal wedding. Twofold. One, the kind of outdoor elements of it, but also particularly because Meghan has freckles, you don't want to be putting heavy coverage over freckles, because the freckles tend to merge together and start to look a bit muddy, like they're blending. You can't see the individuals. So I think she knows this already because you can see from the makeup she wears, but anyone that has freckles, it is better to let them shine through and be seen. As soon as you start putting loads of blush or bronzer, again, they kind of muddy together. So lighter on the shading, lighter on the contouring, and a sheerer foundation will be the day, will be what Windsor needs, I think. So think about the lighting, think about indoor, outdoor, and then start to think about the other elements that come into play, like a dress. So if a dress is super shiny, you probably don't want your face to be super shiny. Colours of flowers, colours of bridesmaids, colours of page boys. Are you going to match to that or go to the opposite of that? And there really isn't a right or wrong answer, but you should start to think about this. And if you are going to have a makeup trial somewhere else with a makeup artist and you already know what those colours of dresses are and what the flowers are, then take some pictures. Should I match my peony colour? Should I match my peony flower? Or should I be the far opposite colour to my peony? So take those pictures with you. Evening change. You need to make sure, as soon as it gets dark, a bit like we were talking about lights earlier, your makeup needs to change to go with that. It needs to become stronger. So make sure that you know whatever you've chosen for the day and the main wedding or the main occasion, you know that you can change it, that you have the power to go over the top of it, and you know what colours you're using to deepen it, bit more eyeshadow on, lipsticks, liners. Liner I think is really key in weddings because it holds lipstick so nicely for such a longer period, and the aim with makeup obviously is to look good over the day. For Meghan and the wedding, lip liner when you're freckly, if you do have freckles that come down onto around your mouth area, are really crucial, because sometimes if they're really close to your lips, they look like they merge into your lips and you haven't got that neat, crisp line arch. So on her skin type, she'll probably be putting quite a nude, kind of subtle sand nude type colours. But you would look at a lip liner definitely to have it during the wedding, because it just keeps lipstick looking crisper and fresher, and you've got to get longevity out of wedding makeup, which means also therapists doing this, you need to teach the person to do it, or person at the wedding having their wedding, you need to make sure you're well prepped with compact or translucent powder to go over. You've got some of the exact matching lipstick, liner, and that you know how you are going to darken it up. Now, we're talking mainly about makeup, but don't forget the nails. You're going to need your nails to work with it. Very typically for bridal is French, but I think it looks awesome when you pull out a strong colour against the dress. Just my personal match the flowers. Facials as well. One of my big pieces of advice for prepping for your wedding will be, do not start having facials like the week before. That is just a recipe for disaster. That is going to do some deep cleansing, get you some spots, and you will not be ready for them. So if you're going into facials, you want to start a couple of months before the wedding at least, so that you're priming and getting the skin in good condition, and that you're getting used to those treatments, that you do all the deep cleansing stage, and that you're not getting any unwelcomed visitors on the day. It is well worth having in your makeup bag on a wedding day colour correctors, particularly green. So remember, green colour corrector is what will bring down redness, and very often you can't predict how much stress in the morning of a wedding brings, or just anxiety or enthusiasm and pure happiness, which often leads to rouge. So those colour correctors for cheeks, sometimes down onto the chest area, are well worth having with you as well. So I would definitely make sure you've got some colour correcting options there. And last, a bit of a skin tip. Technically, real professional makeup artists will always cleanse tone moisturisers before. So they should do that for you. If you're doing it yourself, or even if they are, make sure that the cleanser that they are putting on ideally is a balm cleanser, because when you want makeup to last really well for a full day, then you want to make sure you've got a really nourishing base. So you don't want the makeup to dry out and crack. So you want something like a balm cleanser, that you've got a good moisturiser, maybe even a little bit of serum or oil to help it spread nicely, because you can always translucent powder off any shine, and that will give you the longevity throughout the day. So my prediction for Megan is going to be nice sheer, freckles out, probably quite natural eyes. I would pop out some gold on her eyes, go for quite a distinct kind of highlight in the middle, and a really beautiful nude lipstick. I reckon she's probably going to have a team of people that will run after her, so she's not going to worry about having to take her own compact and lipstick. But for the rest of us who don't get to be a princess, what I wanted to do today was make sure that you've got some kind of top level things. I'm not showing you how to do the makeup. I'm telling you the things you need to think about, prep you need to be ready for, what you need to speak to makeup artists about, or your friends if you're getting ready. And I want you to be able to sparkle like Miss Markle on your big day. I'm also going to record another video about how Miss Markle could sparkle with a green organic makeup bag, rather than the brands that she is used to using, which are kind of the normal culprits, your kind of Dior, Chanel's, Laura Mercier, Charlotte Tilbury's, and how she could replicate and change over to a greener, in my opinion, better ingredient list for those. Please give the video a thumbs up, share it with anyone you know who is heading towards a wedding or a very special occasion, and get them in the know of how to prep so they sparkle.